Sean over at the Center Path. Welcome to the channel again. I'm finally reloading up something. It's mid-April 2023, and guess what? Yeah, you know what happened. Dalai Lama said, suck my tongue. And everybody's lost their minds over it. But I want you to remember three things about these kind of things. Is one, there's his story, there's the other story, and then there's what's really happening. And so we have to step back from these things and not make all these snap judgments and snap videos like everybody did and jump all over him or jump all over anybody. Now, I'm not one to really care all that much anyway about the Dalai Lama. I've criticized him in the past. I criticized some of his policies, and I definitely criticize the fact that he's pretty silent on some abuse issues that have been going on and have gone on in the past. So taking that into context, we have to look at a few different videos. And I did a whole write-up on this thing, and there was a couple things that I wanted to get across. And number one is, if you take the side of him, you got people who are defending him to the hilt, and they're going to defend him no matter what. That's their religion, man. This is who they've put all of their faith into and all of their trust into, so they are not going to budge no matter really what he does. He could probably have eaten a kid alive, and they would still say it was okay. It was some kind of crazy wisdom, but that's not what happened. The other side of it is people saying, oh my God, he's a complete pedophile. He wants to tongue kiss and French kiss a bunch of kids and all this kind of stuff. Now, it doesn't look good. When you watch the whole video, I post a bunch of links to different parts of the video and different commentaries to the video and stuff like that on mostly YouTube, but there's some other formats too in there. And you can see what happens. The kid asked him to give him a hug, walks up there, gives him a hug. He's obviously, here's the thing we have to remember. He's had interaction with this kid before. It wasn't brand new. His mother is sitting 2 seats over from him. So they've met him, they pre-met him, and that's how you do things with Dalai Lama. He has a huge security team. You don't just walk up and say, hey, can I give you a hug, and walk up there. That's not the way things work, especially when we're talking about someone who's that much of a political figure. Okay. The other thing too is what he said. I mean, he said, hey, give the kid a kiss on the lips. That's fine too. Give him a big hug. That's fine. Touching foreheads. That's a more traditional. That's one I understand. Now, the whole thing people were saying, and they weren't paying attention either, is they were saying doing this means hello. It doesn't really mean hello. It means hey, I'm not a bad guy, because the original bad guy had a black tongue. What I have? I had Cheetos, so it'd be orange tongue maybe. But if I had licorice, it'd be a black tongue, and that'd be not good. So you show that there for that. Now, they even cite some of the pictures in 7 Years in Tibet, actually around 40 minutes. You can see that same clip where they come into this little village or bazaar area, and all these people are like this kind of thing to them. That's not, that's not a hello. It's not a sign of respect. That's not what they're doing. They show it later on, too, when they're hitting pans, and they're doing the same thing when they came and they were throwing rocks at them and sticking their tongues out. This was to scare away demons, is what that is. That's an old tradition anyway. And many times, that's the kind of idea. But now, what's the other side of the story? There is a translation issue in there. Remember, the Dalai Lama isn't great with English, unfortunately. I mean, he's been speaking it for a long time, but there's a lot of little nuanced things we don't get. The things like suck, eat, touch, those can be similar. One of the old saying was hey, for an old person, give your kids some candy, they want some more candy, says, I have nothing more, you have to eat my tongue. So then they put their tongue out, kind of thing. Now, I don't know about that part of the culture. That's not my culture. I've studied it a long time. I've seen a lot of stuff. I've never ever seen that. You can look back through as many videos and as many pictures as you can, and you don't see this happen again. Sorry. That's the weird part about this. But still, we don't want to jump to full judgment right away. Yes, we want to protect the kids. Now, nobody said anything. That's the other thing people say. Nobody said anything. I'd run right up there. You can't. He's got a security team. They're going to tackle you at minimum. Okay? You can't even get close to the guy. He's a political figure that is hated by the Chinese government. Chinese government is loving this whole thing. They like to see him stumble, and they love to see him fall. This is probably a foible, I'm saying. However, some people saying, oh, it was a deep fake, it was AI or something like that. That's obviously not it, because you don't put out an what's it called? You don't make an apology for something that you actually did, or unless you did something, right? And you don't make an apology for a deep fake. You say, that was a deep fake, it wasn't me, all that kind of stuff. So as I wrote up my whole spiel on this. I'm looking it up on my other computer here. Some people, geez, what can you say? So what now? I've been, I don't know. I mean, if you decide not to follow the Dalai Lama, that's fine. But then, what are you going to follow? You're going to throw away all the books and you do all this kind of stuff. If you didn't follow the Dalai Lama, you're still going to see it as weird, and you're going to step back and say something's not right about this. And you know what? The gut feeling says, yeah, there's something not right about it. But he's not my guru. He's not my guru's guru or anything like that. My guru is more traditional and more Theravada and more Chan than that. So this is something to kind of go, Now, the other side of the coin, though, there's a lot of troubles in that form of Buddhism. Now, there's a lot of troubles in other forms of Buddhism, too. We'll get to that later. But in that form of Buddhism, the Tibetan Vajrayana Buddhism. Now, he's the leader, he's the political leader, but he's also the spiritual leader of at least 4 of those 5 branches of Tibetan Buddhism. So, him being that, he's going to have a lot of answering to do, but nobody's going to say anything. This is going to all go away, and here's why. Number one, when Sogya Rinpoche or Sakyong or Chogyam Trungpa and all these other guys that were brought up on charges of molestation and rape and fraud and all this kind of stuff, the Dalai Lama in the beginning will say, yes, we must do something right away. Well, not me, but we must do something. And then he would promise to sign a letter or to sign some kind of affidavit saying yes, these people should be shamed, get rid of the robes, whatever. It never ever happened. So you can look it up. He doesn't have a real good track record on those kind of things. He talks a good talk, but this is also part of the Vinaya. You're not supposed to disparage other monks, and you're not supposed to disparage other practitioners. So the other thing too is there's a lot of political shenanigans that go on, a lot of money. So all you do is grease some palms, and you've got basically your excuse. Very similar to what happened in the Catholic Church. Very similar to what happens in other places too. So anyway, you got to make your own decisions, but get all the information first, and don't freak out. Don't be all freaking out yet. There is some translation stuff with that. See if you want to get those kind of things. Look it up. Anyway, this is Reverend Shawno with Center Paths. Don't forget to subscribe, like or dislike, whatever. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.